This is a film about people, Nobel's people. Alfred Nobel, the Swede, who combined in an almost unique way the great inventor and the great entrepreneur, whose inventions gave the world high explosives. And it was their commercial success that was to be the rock upon which ICI was built. When he saw Ardeer site in 1871, he described it as everlasting bleak dunes with no buildings, a wonderful sand desert where the wind always blows and often howls. A Glasgow engineer, John Downing, introduced Nobel to his British partners and to Ardeer. Downey, with 47 men, made the sand desert into an explosives factory. Ardeer's first charge of nitroglycerine, the key to it all, was made on the 13th of January 1873 on this plant.
And from then on, the ICI thrived, becoming one of the largest explosives plants in the world. Catered to a community of thousands, where they worked, became its own small town, if you will. People's fathers, grandfathers, mothers, grandmothers worked there, became part of people's lives, became their livelihood.
ICI was always an option for me for a job when I left school. I left school at 16. There was always somebody you knew or a member of your family worked in ICI because it was a huge part of the community in Stevenston. My gran worked in the canteen. I got an interview and the interview lasted over 2 days. You went for testing in the first day and it was like ambidextrous and manual tests, and then if you passed that you got back the next day for a medical and an interview. At the interview they asked me if my family worked in the factory, and I said my gran worked in the canteen, and they all knew my gran, so I kind of knew that was me. I worked in the detonator department in DL5 and it was fantastic. It was like I was only 16 but I was welcomed in like part of the family. Everybody looked after you. They made sure you were helped with anything at all. They shared everything with you. It was just like a big community ICI. We socialised together as well. We had the Ardeer Rec and everybody used to go there at the weekends and when you stopped in the holidays.
And in 2002, the company was sold to a Japanese firm and shut down. The local community suffered a great deal. People's livelihoods were lost. People lost their jobs, lost contact with friends. And they suffered. The whole area suffered. Shops had to shut down. Crime began rising as people were unemployed and desperate. So, why did this happen? Industrialisation. That's why areas like this suffer the consequences of profit seeking and not taking into consideration that the workers, the people who make these companies money, are human beings. Walking around the old site, you can still see the remnants of the factory's past and where people worked, where people lived. You can see that it was a place that people felt family and togetherness, a community spirit, something that a lot of places don't have, especially in today's climate, something that is widely spoke about as being dwindling from how people live. But all hope is not lost. There's hope on the horizon. Ardeer is in the running to be the location of a revolutionary fusion energy plant. Spherical tokamak for energy production, or STEP, could provide a source of clean, safe energy capable of helping nations around the world meet their net zero target in the coming decades. And Ardeer is one of the 5 UK sites and the only one in Scotland in the final stages of consideration to host STEP. The UK government is funding £222 million to design the prototype fusion energy plant, with potential to be the catalyst for billions of pounds more in inward investment for the successful site, generating significant numbers of jobs and providing a catalyst for economic prosperity in Scotland and beyond. At more than 400 hectares, Ardeer has an abundance of space to easily accommodate the 100-hectare site needed for a fusion energy plant. Good connections to nearby ports, rail and road networks, as well as access to nationwide skills and academic expertise. And so, will this area, deeply affected by the effects of deindustrialisation, will it be given another chance to show what it can do? This vast landscape, hundreds of hectares wide, easily accessible. Will this area be given a lifeline, a chance to thrive and prosper again? Or will it just be left to rot? Only time will tell.